Hey guys, so today is Tuesday, September 6th, and I thought I would make a video today. I do have episode 2 and 3 of She Hulk up for review, so I'm also going to get those up today. So as soon as those videos are done, come and check those videos out as well. Shameless plug, I know. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video. Um, you know, um, we all have things in life that um, that we have to work on, and what's important is that we recognize what we have to work on, whether that's boundaries or whether that is whatever it is. It can be any number of things. And if you're watching this video, um, you know, I think you know what I'm talking about. Being a person of my intelligence level, and um, I think that it's important that I I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm not going to perseverate in this video, but what I am going to say is, you know, life is interesting, and I'm not in a bad mood. I'm not in a bad place. I'm not in a dark place. Um, it's important to not interrupt somebody when somebody's talking to somebody. Um, for example, this just came to me just now. Um, um, Kaylee, one of the staff members where I work, she was talking to somebody. I can't remember who. And this is where it comes into, it's important to let somebody finish their conversation, and then you can go on with your conversation, whatever it is. Now, everything is all well and good now, and that's fine. Everything's all copacetic and cool, however you want to say it. But I clearly, I have to work on boundaries, and I've never, I admit, I've never done, I've never done necessarily well with boundaries. It's something that I struggle with, and a lot of other people struggle with. I just want to make this video today to say, it's good that everything's well and good and all that. Now, moving forward, you have to work on what you have to work on, whether that be boundaries or whatever else it may be. And I mean, I've had things happen in my life. Everyone's had things happen in their life. But, guarantee that, everyone, um, everyone needs boundaries, whatever that may be. Letting someone finish talking before you step in, or or uh, or being respectful falls into the same category as boundaries. If someone was, okay, let's say for example, If someone was to waltz into your house, and let's say, for example, you prefer them ringing the doorbell, right? And whoops, if sorry about that. If someone was to enter your house unannounced, uninvited, or if someone was to use your laptop without your permission, that would be what considered they're crossing a boundary. And I made a video about boundaries a while back, which I can't actually find because I've made so many videos. But what I want to say in this video is, don't overstep your boundaries. And the important thing is that you apologize and move on, right? You move forward. And moving forward, you do better than you did the next day. And if you're like me, you also too, you don't want to beat a dead horse. You don't want to, when a conversation's done, a conversation's done. When you talk about something with somebody, you resolve it, and everything's good. And clearly, everything's fine. In my situation, so if you talk about something with somebody, you resolve it, and then you move on to the next thing, whatever that may be. You don't beat a dead horse and go on about the same thing over and over and over, right? And that's another thing I want to talk about in this video. Gee, look how long this video is. Is that when you discuss something, you move forward, and everything's fine in my situation. Everything will be fine in your situation. It's important, and I know I said I wasn't going to repeat myself, but the most important is that you recognize that you did something, you apologize, and you move forward. You give a high five, or thank you very much, or everything's good, it's whatever you want to do. But okay, now here's the other part. Moving forward, you have to work on what you have to work on. And everyone in the world has things that they have to work on, right? No one's perfect, right? And so when we work on those things, whatever it may be, and for me it's boundaries, and boundaries are a very important thing to have. And it's important not to overstep your bounds, right? You overstep your bounds, you overdo it, and things change. But thankfully I did not do that. And but when you do overstep your bounds, that is something that you do have to work on. And boundaries is a tough one for a lot of people. you know, and, you know, like I said, we all have things that we have to work on. But as long as you recognize and you move forward and you do better than you did the next time, then pretty much you're in the gold and all is well, right? But I mean, it's just it's like meditation. Meditation and mindfulness is a continuous practice. Working on what you need to work on is a continuous practice, and I mean, who knows what is in this afterlife, or what's after this? But for now, in this present state, of life, you have to continually work on what you need to work on until you get it right. So, but on a brighter note, to end this video on a bright note, everything is fine, everything is resolved, and I hope the same is for you. You know, again, I don't know what your situation is. I only know what my situation is, and you know, the end result was it was resolved. Everything is fine, and so that's that. You know, again, I don't know what your situation is, or whatever the case may be, or what have you, but from my personal experience, I'm very glad that, speaking for my situation, I'm very happy that I live in a place where I live in a place, I'm very happy that I live in a place with people where the situation gets resolved very quickly. And I have people that keep me on the straight and narrow, and I thank them for that. And I'm very appreciative of those that keep me on the straight and narrow. So I just want to say, you know, everything's good. Everything's fine in the end. You know, everything always works out in the end, in most cases. Especially in this one, because it was such a little thing. And the other thing I want to say is, don't let the little things get to you, right? You let the little things get to you. You worry, and then you think about it, and then nothing. And then everything's fine. And then you think to yourself, why did I spend all that time worrying about something that in the end I knew was going to turn out fine? You know, and what happened today was such a little thing. It's a common occurrence with more than myself. With it's a common occurrence with people. And what the occurrence was, and I'm going to say that it's important not to interrupt somebody when somebody else is having a conversation with somebody. It's important to have patience. It's important to have boundaries. All these things. Everybody has to work on patience, boundaries. But to end this video, because I don't want to make it too much longer, you know, in the end, a little thing happened. everything is fine, it's all good, and move on. So on that note, I just wanted to make this video to maybe help you along, and to help me along as well. And I hope the same is for you. Is that and that's the other thing, is that in most cases everything works out the way things worked out for me today. And I'm not saying in all cases, because sometimes there's so much damage, and people are so abusive, or whatever the case may be. So not in all cases, let's be 100% real, not in all cases do things go the way things went today, just using that as an example. But as I said, everything's good, everything's fine. So on that note, I think I'm going to watch some Simpsons or something of that nature and turn my brain off, because everything's good, everything's fine, and so gonna go relax for a while. And I'm happy that things worked out the way they did, and I'm very glad and happy that I can recognize what the mistake that I had made. And the most important thing, is that you recognize it, you move forward, and everything's good. All is well. So I'm going to go enjoy some Simpsons and laugh my head off, and all is well. All is well. So, and I think that's what I'm going to make the title of this video. All is well. So with that, have a great day, and I'm gonna work on She-Hulk episode 2 and 3, and as I said, all is well, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my evening, and all is well. So have a good one, you guys, and take it easy.